Hey, what's up? Back at SSR Collision with my man Chris.
What's up?
He is saving the day. You sound excited. You sound tired, actually.
It is very, very hot.
It's really hot here in Georgia. Oh my God, it's slowly coming back to life. Thanks to Sergeant Insurance. The Sergeant Insurance has a solution for you. I couldn't afford Shaquille O'Neal, so let me just get out of here. Can you describe what you guys have done so far? I've been gone in Puerto Rico.
So basically what we did was we got the new deck lid in, went ahead and painted the underside to match it just like it was from the factory. Prior to us welding in this whole new rear body panel, we pulled the rear body panel while it was still connected. Basically that's what's called a rough pull. So basically pulled that out. Once that was done, went ahead and drilled out all the spot welds. This was the inner and outer rear body that we were talking about. This was the main part that was bent across here. And then you remember in the last video of the car, this was all bent up and mangled. So these are brand new from Ford. These are brand new from Ford. But we basically try and mimic exactly the way it came off from the factory. So the factory, not the whole thing inside, is painted. It uses a tan undercoat, so we applied the tan undercoat after we've done all of our welding and body work, and then the blue just travels down, and basically because these cars are painted from the factory with a robot, they just come across this top edge and then let whatever blows in. So looking inside, you're not going to be able to tell that it was ever in an accident.
In other words, in this situation, perfection is kind of not what you want.
Exactly.
In other words, you want it to make it look natural, therefore you just kind of overspray it a little bit. It's weird because it's one of those things where if you had a perfect line on the bottom, your brain would be like, that doesn't look right. It's like somebody with a CG face in a movie, the Uncanny Valley. It just doesn't look right.
It looks fake.
It looks fake.
Yeah, you don't want everything glossy in here because from the factory, it's not glossy. It's a tan color with some
it's
overspray.
really flat too. There's no like life to it at all.
So we sand it with different grits. We'll go with like for a new panel, anything we're doing a color change, we'll sand with like 600 grit, 400 grit, whatever it really takes. And then our blend panels, being that this panel, we sand with 800 till it's not shiny. I mean, we got to get a little primer on this where a dent was here. So once we get it all sanded up, we'll get it wiped down, cleaned out, and start taping it for paint.
Another thing too is that the insurance company recommended a used trunk, which sounds kind of weird, but it's a trunk and it's going to be repainted.
Exactly.
And there's really no body damage to this thing anyway. So why not use it? It's cheaper, it's more affordable, and the insurance company is happy.
Yeah, exactly.
So you definitely want them to be happy because there are things with the car that, if you keep adding on more and more stuff, they think you're trying to play them.
Yeah.
So in other words, we're trying to do the bare minimal, but at the same time, if there's any loose ends, we want to make sure the loose ends are connected. Therefore, after this is done, you won't even be able to tell if it was used or not.
No,
so whatever.
Not at all. I mean, the insurance companies, they try and keep their costs down. Well, instead of us using an aftermarket,
just like anybody. Insurance companies are like reverse gambling. If you think about it, if you gamble if you gamble at a casino, you're putting your money in expecting kind of to lose. But with insurance, you're paying them already, and then they're having to gamble on you. So that's why if you're in too many accidents, that's why they drop your insurance, because they've literally, the house is lost every single time. That's a good nutshell explanation of it.
Exactly.
50 points to the person who comments below and guesses what this trunk is for. It took forever. Chris, what are the most common mistakes when sanding a car if you've never done it before?
If you've never done it before, not protecting your edges. So a lot of people will, they'll get in with never used a power tool before or anything like that. They'll start sanding, and depending on what grit you use, can really affect how fast you're going to burn through an edge. So this is just 800 grit, but a lot of people will burn through these edges. And burn through meaning that they're going to sand through the clear coat. Basically back here, the reason you can see this brown stuff, that's basically your factory what's called your factory E-coat, your corrosion protection, and that's underneath of that base coat. We repaired this edge, which is why we're burning through here. But the worst case scenario is when you're trying to paint something, you only want to put paint where you need to so you don't run into any color match issues. So you're going to have an issue where if you put a burn through somewhere way up here next to the door, for example, now you have to put color up here. Well, this panel is mainly a blend panel. We have some repairs that we need to do across the rear of it, but we're trying to bring that color only as far as we need to. Now we're going to clear coat the entire panel, but we only want to put color only as far as we need to achieve a good color match. If you burn through up on this front edge, you're going to have a color match difference between here and here. So if you are sanding your car for yourself, you're doing your own paint job, you're doing any kind of repair that you got to wet sand your clear, even if you're wet sanding your clear to polish it back up, to remove some of the orange peel out of a factory paint job, you need to be easy around the edges. That's why I don't spend too much time sanding here. I'll come back and I'll hand sand them to get that so that there's no shiny spots. If you are clearing your panel, or if you're painting your panel at your house, shiny spots are a bad thing. So now I've just DA'd this, and that shiny spot would cause an issue where paint's not going to stick to it.
Before we get into the nitty gritty working on Smurf, I just wanted to give a huge thanks to everybody who has supported me with Patterson Car Care. Patterson Car Care is my official detail brand that is developed right here in the USA. If you want to make life so easy washing your car, make sure to check out things like our wheel cleaner, which all you have to do is spray on the wheel, wait about 45 seconds to a minute, and then just rinse away. There is no better way to wash your car than Patterson Car Care. It's incredibly easy, and it supports and helps this channel for future projects. Thank you so much, and let's get to it. So Chris, for people who don't know anything about body work, why do you wet the floors?
Well, when you're spraying in the booth, it stirs up a lot of air. The air that comes out of the gun at the nozzle is anywhere between 20 to 25 psi. So that air movement stirs up anything that's in here. That's why we open all the doors, we blow everything out of here or out of the vehicle so it doesn't come out of the cracks. But on the floors where overspray paint just from, you know, painting other vehicles and other parts, that dust is a very, very, very fine dust. So you wet the floor down and that keeps all the dust stuck to the floor. So we already wiped it down before we started prepping the car up for paint with a chemical called SX394. It's basically an organic based cleaner. It removes tree sap, any kind of road, not really road grime, but organic road grime, bird droppings, stuff like that. What I'm wiping it down with now is a wax and grease remover. So that basically gets anything synthetic, road grime, tar, fingerprints, oils off your hands, really anything that could possibly contaminate the paint. So this is a TouchMix XI system. It's for PPG. So this is basically the computer goes to a server that's outside of our paint mixing room. We put in our colors here. It gives us any kind of variants. These up here are our variant decks. So for example, like blues, there's from here, there's like 5 rows of just different shades of blues. Now they're not all different colors. Some of them are the same color. Grabber blue is CI, so Grabber Blue Ford North America 2010 and up. So it's the same for all the S197s, the S550s, stuff like that. So we'll select that. And normally we have 2 different variants. So we know, for example, on most Mustangs, Prime works fantastic. With the flag, it's telling us that that is the most used color. But it does have 2 variants. So let's check those variants out. So ST1554. The darker, the redder variant is a little bit darker. But 9 times out of 10 it's prime. But we're gonna check it against the car, and we're gonna use the best match for the car. You can see this being the redder version doesn't quite match up. It's a little bit too purplish. We're also going to take a non-destructive sample of the surface, and it's gonna take 5 different pictures from 5 different angles in the same spot. We'll upload it into the computer and then let the database kind of use what's on the car to give us the exact match to confirm what I picked out on the variant text. So what I picked out might be a little different than what it actually calls for, but we'll see if it matches what I think it is. So we've got the sample that we took of the paint from the camera loaded into our system. Insert that we're painting at paint code CI, so it's going to compare itself to the 2 variants for CI. This is your MR, is your match rating. It's out of 100. So this being a match rating of 12, match rating of 17. So the red's close, but it's not quite as close, and it does just confirm that prime is the mixture that we're going to use. We're going to need, we got a deck lid, and then blend into both quarters. We're going to need about probably 10 ounces of blue. We're going to do 10% reduction of water. This is waterborne paint, not solvent-borne, using thinner to thin it out. So this is our mixture. Grabber blue. Gonna make sure we don't have any on the sides.
Okay, time to paint.
We're gonna be using waterborne paint. When we spray this color on, it's going to look a lot lighter and a lot milkier, and that's because of the water content that's in the water. As we spray it, we let it sit, we let the water evaporate out, we'll see the true color of Grabber Blue before we even clear coat. This is real milky, and then it kind of tapers off into that Grabber Blue. And after we come back out, this is going to look a little bit darker than what's on there, but once we clear it, everything will blend right back together. So that's the clear we're using. Ditzler BC 5700 is from PPG's Vibrance collection. It's a European high solids clear, extremely high gloss, extremely thick, good buffability, lays out really, really nice.
Alright, so as is our collision, Mr. Chris, are you satisfied with the result?
Really, yeah.
I'm stoked. This all being new, this looks so different when I first came in today, and I could not be happier, honestly, because when you did the clear, we did everything, and like you said, if you do the clear and you did a bad paint job, that's when you'll know, and you kind of pretty much have to start over.
It's really all about the prep work. The more prep work you put into it, the better the product's going to turn out. No, there's no such thing as a perfect paint job. There's going to be flaws in it, but they can be rectified with.
But seriously, when we pulled it out into the sun just now, it was pretty satisfying.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
You're slowly coming back. But we got the wing, the deck lid, the license plate surround, the bumper, the Boss 302 diffuser. We have all that left to do, but the hardest part, I believe, is over.
Oh yeah, we're definitely on the home stretch at this point. So.
Yeah. Well, awesome job, Mr. Chris.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and I will see you guys next time. And take it easy. Goodbye.
Go.